Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Club Runner Changeover attendance training today on April 18th. My name's Omar. I'm a product specialist at Club Runner. I'm joined by Serena, one of our product specialists.
Hi, everyone. My name is Serena. I'm here with Omar for our attendance module training. I will be monitoring the chat and Q&A. Please feel free to answer any questions either during the webinar or afterwards, and I'll do my best to help.
Thank you, Serena. Let's go ahead and pull up our topics list for today's training. So this webinar is for club executives and administrators looking to log club member and guest attendance to meetings. We will cover setting up your club attendance rules by membership type, setting up excused members and leave of absences, setting up the club's makeup eligibility window where makeups can be applied for meetings within a certain date range. We're going to track member and guest attendance by saying a member had attended or adding guests to a meeting. Once we've got our meeting mostly set, we're going to go ahead and add and manage banked makeups to assign to a member who had missed the meeting. Then we will close our meeting to report its stats to the district, as well as your club's attendance reports. And then we're going to go ahead and pull those attendance reports. I'll show you where you can find those reports, as well as download them to your device. Closer to the end of the training, we're going to do a quick overview of the barcode scanner, where you can learn more information and overall how it operates. And then time willing, we're going to start the Q&A at 5:45 p.m., where my colleague Serena will ask me questions live over the air, your questions, and I'll show us the answers by navigating around our demo accounts. Let's go ahead and pull up the club website we're going to log into today. So I've pulled up the Rotary Club of Kipling website. I can tell with our little homepage welcome text widget here, welcome to the Rotary Club of Kipling. To log into the club's website, we're going to go ahead and click. I do believe my audio is working, Paul. Do check your speakers. But to log in, we're going to click Member Login in the top right. Okay, and this is where you'd enter your profile's username and password. I'm going to go ahead and copy the username I have ready for us, as well as enter my user's password. Before I log in, I do want to mention, if you do not know your username or your password, you can recover your login information from your club's login page by clicking any of these three links: this forgot username link, forgot password link, or new user link. I'm going to go ahead and just open up one of these links in a new browser tab. Here we are. So if you don't know your login information, definitely click one of those three links. You'll be brought to this retrieve login information form. For the club, only email address is required. So you would enter your profile's email address, and then you would click this blue submit button. As soon as you click submit, this page will refresh and you'll see a green message at the top, hopefully, that a record has been found for you with the email address, and an email has been sent to your profile with a link to reset your password. You would open up the email from your email client, then click the link to reset your password. You'll see your username at the top of the page where you'd go to reset your password, then enter your new password. And as soon as you've entered your new password, we would go back to the member login page right here, and then enter in your username and password and click login. And I'm just doing that. There we are. And I have logged in, and I can tell because in the top right, I do not see member login anymore. I see my user's full name, as well as the member area link and log out. Let's go ahead and enter the member area to create a meeting. Okay, and here we are in the member area. I do want to mention my user that I'm doing the demo with is a site administrator, but to create and track member attendance, the access level 50-club executive is required. So if you are a site administrator, you can definitely create meetings and track member attendance. If you're an executive, you will also be able to create meetings and track member attendance. If you have a lower access level, so say editors or a regular member, you wouldn't be able to create a meeting. And if you have that access and you should be tracking your club's meeting attendance, I would suggest reaching out to your site administrator so that they can increase your profile's access level. Just to quickly show you what an executive would see when logging into the member area, I'm just going to click this executives dashboard. And here, this is what members with the 50-Club Executive Access level would see. So I'm just scrolling down a bit. Everybody who logs into Club Runner will have a similar My Club Runner dashlet. This Need Help dashlet is for access levels greater than members. This What's New section for our changeover training and other Club Runner updates. For attendance, we're going to scroll past the communication, events, and volunteering dashlet. Here we are. We have the attendance dashlet. Your site administrators will have this same attendance dashlet. Some of you may be asking, where do I go to check my profile's access level? That's a great question. To check your profile's access level, you would see in the top of the dashboard this My Club Runner dashlet, or if you're a regular member, and I've just clicked members, you'll see this welcome with an edit my profile button. And all of the dashboards have this edit my profile button. We would click the button to view our access level. I do see it's loading. There we are. So now we're in our own Rusty's profile, and all members are able to update their own profile. To check your access level, we're going to click the Settings tab just below your profile picture. And I'm going to go ahead and click Settings. Awesome. And here we are. We can see Rusty is set with that greatest 30 site administrator access level. And again, the ones that can create meetings are 50-club executive up to 30-site administration. Okay, let's go back to the admin dashboard and get started with attendance. So to get back to the admin dashboard, I'm going to click admin in the top blue bar, then admin again in the gray bar just below. Okay, and here we are back on the site administrator dashboard. I did show you on the executives dashboard, there is that attendance dashlet we would use. Site administrators have the same dashlet. So I'm going to just scroll down here, and there is that same attendance dashlet that your club executives have access to. Let's go ahead and start with the dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and click this reddish orange dashboard button. Here we are. So this dashboard will display your club's meetings within the last year, as well as the percentage for those meetings. So it looked like we had a meeting on January where 95% of the club's membership had attended, and then another on February for 85%. And I'm just trying to get there. There we are, March for 80%, and one more in April where we had 100% attendance. Just scrolling down the dashboard, we also have this horizontal bar graph to show you similar data, just in horizontal bars. Before we jump into attendance rules and settings, you can view these meetings in a list format by clicking View All Meetings right here on the bottom, or if we scroll to the top, in the attendance top blue module, you can also click Meetings in the gray bar just below. It's the second item from the left. Also, while working in a module like we are in attendance, your left-hand gray menu will update based on the module you're working in. So we are also able to click Meetings or Dashboard to navigate around attendance with this left-hand menu. So I've clicked Meetings here, but if I clicked Attendance, then Meetings, it would bring up the same page. Here we can see the same 4 meetings. It looks like our April 4th is not closed, so it's not going to report its stats to the reports, but we'll do that when we create our new meeting and close that so we can see everything on the reports. Let's take a look at the settings that are available in the attendance module. To get to the settings, I would click Attendance in the top blue bar, then Rules and Settings in the gray bar just below where my cursor is, or we can click Settings in the left-hand gray menu here. Okay, and this brings us to the attendance rules and settings page. The first setting that we can see here is the makeup eligibility window. So this makeup eligibility window is how far into the future and into the past a makeup can be assigned to a meeting. So say you create a makeup for today's date, April 18th. If we leave the makeup eligibility window as 14 days, that makeup dated April 18th would be available to apply to meetings as early as April 4th this month, or as late as, I just need to check myself here, or as late as May 2nd. So that's what this 14 number means, is when you create a makeup, its date is how far into the past and future the window that makeup can be applied to. I think I didn't explain that well, but I'm sure you guys get the gist. Next is a note that you can increase the makeup eligibility window to be 366 days, so a year plus a day. And the next option is limit makeup eligibility to the Rotary year it was reported for. So if you create a makeup within this Rotary year from July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023, that makeup would only be available to apply within meetings within those same dates, July 1st onwards and June 30th, 2023 prior. So if you want to make sure your makeups are only available to assign within the Rotary year, definitely check this limit makeup eligibility to the Rotary year it was reported for. If you make any updates to the makeup eligibility window, you definitely want to click this orange Save Changes button. So let's say 2 weeks isn't enough for our club. Typically, as I understand it, makeups can be applied for any meeting within the year. So in that case, we can do 366 days, the maximum window, but the next setting, limit makeup eligibility window, will make sure that the makeups can only be assigned to meetings within the same Rotary year. Let's go ahead and click the orange Save Changes button. And I do see it's processing. There we are. And we can see that the makeup eligibility window has been saved with this green confirmation message at the top of the page. Let's scroll down past the makeup eligibility window. Next are the membership type rules. So first we have our active-all, so active-corporate and active-satellite, as well as your regular active members, and then honorary. For these membership type section, you'll see 3 columns: always count, count if attended, and never count. If the membership type is set with always count, then if a member attends a meeting, it'll work to increase the attendance score for that meeting. If they do not attend the meeting, it will negatively impact the percentage. It would increase the denominator and thus bring down the overall percentage score. The count if attended rule, which is set to our honorary members, only counts the member if they attend a meeting. So they'd only increase the attendance score. If they do not attend a meeting, it wouldn't increase the denominator, what it's being divided by, and so it wouldn't negatively impact the attendance score. And I do know that some accounts do like to set their active all membership type to count if attended, and I'll show you how you can do that. The last rule is never count, and if honorary is set with this never count rule, if an honorary member, attends a meeting or does not, it will not affect the attendance score at all. Let's go ahead and set our active all to count if attended. We'll switch it back so not everything is 100%. I just want to show you how you can change it to count if attended. So for active-all, we're simply going to click this edit link on the right side of the page. And here you'll be brought to edit rule for active-all. The only option on this page is the rule, and we can select count if attended, then click this orange save button on the right side of the page. Perfect. So if I scroll down just a bit more, we can now see that active-all is using the count if attended membership type. I am going to switch this back because if all of our membership is in the count if attended, nobody is bringing down the score, and so every meeting will have 100%. So let's go ahead and revert that change. Again, we're going to click the edit link on the right side of the page and then choose always count and click this orange save button. Let's go ahead and scroll back down. Similar to membership types is the exempted and excused status. So you can add members to the excused or exempted groups, and their rules for attendance would use what is set for excused or what is set for exempted. So if we add a member to excused members, their attendance rule would be count if attended. So if they attend, great, it increases the attendance score. If they don't, it doesn't negatively impact the attendance score. You can retitle excused members and exempted members, specifically this name here, this excused members text, or this exempted members text, as well as change the rule set for that group. Let's do that first before we assign members to these exempted/excused statuses. On the right side, we'd click the same edit link, And here we can enter in the new title for that rule. I'm not going to change it just to keep everything straightforward, but you guys can say enter in your own rules. So you could say count if attended members, for example. And then you could save this update, and that's what it would appear as on the attendance rules and settings page. I'm going to leave this group's title the same, just so it's all clear which is which and that it matches the group section. Let's go ahead and have excused members continue to count if attended. I'm just going to simply click this orange save button. To add a member to either the excused or exempted members groups, instead of clicking edit, we would click this members link on the right side of the page. Let's go ahead and do that for excused members. Okay, and no member is added to this excused members group for attendance yet. We can add individual members with this orange add member button, or add multiple members with this orange add multiple members button. Let's do multiple. I'm simply going to click add multiple members. Here we'll be brought to a list of all of the club's membership. We can check who should be included in the excused members list by simply checking the checkbox to the left of their name from this list page. So we can choose Clemens, Fitkin, I've got the last names here, Huckabee, and let's say these three members are the ones who should be excused. You can add additional information about the dates that the members were excused. If we were to save this as it is, it would appear as Mason Clemens was added to the excused member group on April 18th. Say they were supposed to be a part of it earlier, we can set that by simply clicking the date icon for this set exemption date for all two. So I've clicked the little calendar icon, and now we can change the date by selecting it. So I can choose April 11th. If I want it to be even earlier in the past or in the future, I can click the month drop down, choose the month I'm looking for, and then select the date on that month. So let's say we should have them entered for March, and let's have it be 1 month from today, so March 18th. Done, March 18th. So these excused members will appear as they were added to the excused members group on March 18th. Let's go ahead and click this orange save button to add these three members to the group. There we are, and here we can see their names again, as well as the effective date they were added to the excused membership group. While they're in this group, all meetings that are open will have Mason, Miguelita, and CAD appear as excused, where if they attend the meeting, great, it increases the score. If they do not, it will not bring down the score. Let's go ahead and go back to the rules and settings page. Okay, scrolling down, you can do the same changes to the exempted members group. It's really just another status you can change. You can title it to be the same as excused members and set it with the same rule, but that doesn't really help. You would just use the one group that you have. So you have two different extra groups in addition to membership types that you can add members to change how their attendance scores are tracked. Next, and the last setting, is leaves of absence. And you can set a member to be in a leave of absence for a certain date range. For any open meetings within that date range, they would have, in this case, the never count attendance rule, and that's set by default for most leave of absences. You can change it to count if attended. So if they do attend a meeting, great, it increases the score, but if they do not, it will not bring down the score. Again, to edit the rule for leave of absences, you just need to click this edit link on the right side of the page. And then we can choose the count if attended rule or always count, but that doesn't really make sense. We would choose either count if attended or never count. Let's leave it as never count so we can see those leave of absences in the meetings for the members we assign it to. Scrolling back down, you may have noted some of these groups include restore defaults, like this active all, honorary, as well as leaves of absence. If you click restore to default, it will reset the name. It can't change the name. It'll reset the rule assigned to active all or honorary or leave of absence, which means active would return to always count, honorary would return to count if attended, and leave of absence would return to never count. To add a member's leave of absence, we would click leave of absence on the left side of the page. Okay, and here we can see that Mason Clements was added to the club's leave of absences on April 1st, 2023 with no end date. So Mason indefinitely, April 1st onwards, would appear with a leave of absence when we go to take attendance for our meetings, and his attendance would not affect the attendance score. We can add another member, and this time we'll add an end date by clicking this orange Add Leave of Absence button. Okay, and as soon as we click that, we get this Add Member Leave of Absence page. The first option is the member dropdown. So I've just clicked Search for a member. I can enter in their name in this search box or select their name from the list below. Say we're looking for Chrissy, I can just type in CHRISS, and there we are. Chrissy is a hit. Let's go ahead and click the name, and there we go. We've selected the member. You can also add inactive members to appear in this select member dropdown. I'm not going to enable that. We've already selected Chrissy. We can also include a reason. Say Chrissy also got a maternity leave from their workplace. We could enter that in here. So maternity leave, for example, or any other reason, you can enter it in this reason field. Okay, next is the start date for the leave of absence. It will default to today's date, but you can change that by clicking the calendar icon right here on the right side of the field. So I've clicked the calendar icon, and let's say Chrissy was actually on the leave of absence April 10th, Monday last week. I'm going to click April 10th, and there we are, it updates. And for an end date, we're going to have them return for attendance calculation, say June 30th, the day before the new Rotary year. So to do that, I can click the month dropdown and choose June, or I can click this forward arrow in the calendar icon, in the calendar selector, and move month to month. There we are, June 2023, and I'm going to select 30th for June 30th. Done. And now we're going to click this orange Add button to add the leave of absence for Chrissy. There we are. So now any meetings within April 10th to June 30th, when we go to take attendance, Chrissy would appear with the leave of absence and wouldn't affect the overall score for the attendance, for the meeting, I should say. You can come back and edit leave of absences at any point. To edit a member's leave of absence, we would click the edit link on the right side of the page. So here we are for Mason Clements' leave of absence with his family obligations reason. We can add or change the reason. We can also change the start date and end date. So let's go ahead and have the end date be the end of this month. Mason is set to return from his leave, and he'll start counting towards our attendance. And we can just click this orange update button to include that end date. So there we are. We've got our 2 leave of absences. Let's go back. I just want to quickly cover where you go to manage those again. So in the top blue bar, we would click attendance, then rules and settings. You'll be brought to this rules and settings page. And if we scroll all the way to the bottom, past membership types, past exempted and excused statuses, here is leave of absences. And we would simply click leave of absence in the left side to open up the current leave of absences. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on taking a meeting so we can see some of our leave of absences for that meeting and add guests and so on. So to create a brand new meeting, we're going to click attendance in the top blue bar, then meetings in the gray bar below. You can also use the left-hand menu and click meetings. It's the second link in the menu. There we are. I will close this April 4th meeting. We'll leave our new meeting open, which means it won't report its stats to the reports or to the district until it's closed. And then we'll come back and close it to show that once you close it, it reports its statistics. Let's start a brand new meeting by clicking this orange Add Meeting button in the top right. Here we are. Automatically, it defaults the meeting date to 1 week after the last meeting date. So April 4th was our last meeting, which was open, then I closed, and now it defaults 1 week ahead onto April 11th. It is April 18th. Let's say the meeting's happening today. So I would simply, again, click that little calendar icon and then click April 18th. I can see the calendar highlights the 18th for me to denote that it's today's date. Done. Description isn't required, so you don't have to enter description. And frequently I find that the description isn't entered, so we'll leave it blank. But if you'd like to include a brief description of the meeting, you can enter it in this field. The last step to save our meeting is to click this orange save button. Okay, and there it is. As soon as I click save, we're brought back to the meetings list page, and we see April 18th has that white background, so it's still open, and I haven't explained what open and closed really is, but it's open. We can see some members fall into different groups: 2 in never count, 3 in count if attended. These never counts are likely our 2 leave of absences, and these count if attended are from the settings page where we set up 3 members to be in that, I believe it was excused members group. To take attendance for the membership, we would click the date of the meeting. So I'm going to click April 18th, 2023. Here we are. And in the meeting, we can scroll down. And to take attendance for the members, you'll default to this attendance tab, and we would simply check the members' names to denote that they were at the meeting. So say Enrica was part of the meeting. Mason, even though I check him, I can say he attended, but again, this leave of absence rule will not increase the attendance score. Let's keep it off. I'll save it. We'll see the percentage update, and I'll come back for Mason, and it won't change because he's in leave of absence. Let's say Rusty came, Alta. I'm clicking individuals, but it may be faster for you to click the checkbox in the same top row, and that will check everybody in the list. So let's do that. I'm going to check the top checkbox. Suddenly, every member in the club is set to say they came to the meeting, and at this point, it may be faster for me to uncheck the members who didn't attend. Say Gil didn't attend, say Annetta didn't attend, and those were the only 2 members who didn't attend. Let's leave out Mason and Chrissy for now, just so I can showcase that leave of absence rule do not count. Let's also have CAD out and Miguelita out so that I can show you they have the count if attended rule. So they won't bring down the score because they're not checked, but when we check them, they'll increase the score. Okay, we can scroll down just a bit more. If you have honorary members in your club, you'll see this honorary members section, and you can check their name. Honorary members have their own rule, which we saw on the rules and settings page. Last step to save our updates to the membership attendance is to click this orange save button in the bottom right, or at the very top right of the active members list. Let's go ahead and click this orange save button. Done. Oh, I see it's still processing, pardon me. There we are, and now it's saved, and we can see that the attendance score has gone from 0 to 88.24. We still have yet to close the meeting, so it won't appear in reports, but just to show that if we say Mason attended the meeting, and if Chrissy attended the meeting, and then we go to save again, the score does not change because they're in that leave of absence never count group, as well as the exempted members, which I don't think we added. We only had excused members. So if we scroll back down, 2 other excused members were listed, Cad Huckabee and Miguelita Fitkin. They have not brought down the score by not attending, but if we check their names and then save the update, it will increase the score further. So there we are, 89.47. To add a guest to your club's meetings, we would scroll down just a bit more. We open the meeting with the attendance tab open by default. To add guests, we're going to click this guests tab. There we are. And if I scroll back down, we'll have this guests list where we can add a guest. So I'm going to click this orange add guest button, and then you'll be brought to this add meeting guest dialog. You can choose the type of guest they were. So Rotarian, speaker, guest of a member, or other to capture everything else. Let's say they were a speaker for the meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and enter that. And their first name is Joe, and the last name is Don. And a note, you can include the email address for the guest. So I'm going to go ahead and include, say, this test email address. Okay, sync.sendgrid.net is just our testing email addresses. And finally, we can include a note to appear on this meeting for the guest. So we can say, Joe was our speaker for April 18th. spoke about Earth Day. I don't think we're close to Earth Day, but I'm just entering in an example. Last is this: I have received consent from this individual for the collection of their data. You have to select this checkbox. There isn't a way to not check this checkbox and save the update. I do want to mention, if an email address is entered for the guest, they will receive a message from the system stating that they were added to the club's database. If you don't want them to receive that message, you would enter it in without an email address, then save the update, and you can come back and edit the contact to include the email address. Let's go ahead and click this orange save button. Okay, and scrolling back down, there's Joe Don and our note for the speaker, for the guest. He is also entered in the contacts module. So I've scrolled to the very top of our member area, and contacts module is right here. So now Joe is emailable from our club's database because he's now entered as a meeting guest contact. Just to quickly show you, and we'll come back to our attendance and do makeups, but I'm going to click contacts in the top blue bar, then manage contacts in the gray bar just below. And as soon as I click it, we can see one of our 3 contacts that we've added here is Joe Don, who I just added, and he is in the meeting guest contact group. That was done automatically for us when they were added to the guest tab for a meeting. And now Joe is selectable for future emails from your club's database. Let's go back to our meeting and assign a makeup to a member who didn't attend. So to get back, we're going to click attendance in the top blue bar. There it is, about in the middle. And then we're going to click meetings in the gray bar just below the second item from the left. Okay, back here, we're going to click the meeting to open it again. The date of the meeting, I should be specific. And then if we scroll down just a little bit more, we're done with attendance, guests. Next is makeups, and we can assign a makeup to Gil Hardwin or Aneta. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click makeups in the bar there. And here we'll see a makeups list for makeups that were added for members for this meeting, as well as this apply makeups for missed members section. So if Gil or Aneta had a banked makeup that was within our makeup eligibility window, we can automatically assign the banked makeup for Gil or Aneta if it's available and within that eligibility window. Let's manually add a makeup for Gil and then automatically assign a banked makeup we'll create for Aneta using this apply makeups for missed members section. So for Gil, to add a makeup, we're going to use this makeup section at the top. I'm simply going to click this orange add makeup button. As soon as I click that, we're brought to this add member makeup page. First step is to click the select member drop down. And I hope I'm remembering. Yes, so for Gil, we're gonna create the makeup within the meeting, and then for Annette, we'll bank it and then automatically assign it. So I've selected Gil. Next is the makeup date. So this is the date that uses the eligibility window. We set it to 366. So 1 year into the future, 1 year into the past, from April 18th, the makeup will be eligible for any meetings within that range, but we limited it to the rotary year. So it'll now only work for meetings July 1st, 2022 onwards and June 30th, 2023 prior. Okay, and our April 18th meeting does fall within that date, so we shouldn't have any issues with our makeup. I can change the makeup's date by clicking the same calendar icon we've clicked a few times at this point, and then I can choose the date going back months with the back arrow, or using the months drop down to choose the month that the makeup is for. Okay, let's keep it April 18th, and the makeup's description will be that Gil had attended a volunteer event. Say they were one of our Easter egg setup people for our Easter egg hunt event. So Gil completed some volunteer work last week, applying makeup to April 18th meeting. Okay, and we've got our description entered. The next option on this page is the makeup type. When you click add makeup from a meeting, by default, the apply to meeting makeup type will be set, and choose the date of the meeting. If we had open meetings, I can click this April 18th drop down and then select another open meeting. Because we've closed our other meetings, we're not able to apply it to a closed meeting. So let's keep it April 18th and save this update or save this makeup for Gil for that meeting. Okay, and I've clicked save and we see the attendance score increases some more and we see the one makeup is being logged. If we go to the same makeups tab, we'll see Gil's makeup for April 18th plus the description we entered. We can unassign it to make it banked as well as delete the makeup. Let's go ahead and automatically assign a banked makeup for Aneta, which would mean creating a makeup outside of the meeting and then returning to the meeting and using this auto assign feature that's grayed out for now. So to make a banked makeup in the attendance module, you'd click attendance, then makeups in the gray bar below, or makeups from the list on the left. Okay, and here you'll see all of the club's makeups within the date range at the top of the page, Feb 18th to April 18th, where Gil's has been assigned, to a meeting. There's the meeting that it's assigned to. This is the makeup date that the makeup was created for. We're going to add a new makeup for Annette. So I'm going to click this orange add makeup button. Then I'm going to select Annette. I'm just going to search for her using this search box. There she is, Annetta. I've selected the member and we will have the makeup date be for April 4th. So 2 weeks ago, and the description was Annetta is assisting with our Etobicoke cookout event. And that's some event we have on the website, cookout event. Okay, and that's what this makeup's for. We are going to leave the makeup type as banked, which means it's not applied to a meeting. It's not affecting the attendance scores because it's just sitting, waiting to be used for a meeting. Last step is to click this orange save button. Perfect. And here, back on the makeups list page, we see that Annetta has her makeup for April 4th with that Etobicoke cookout event description, and it is banked. It is not assigned to a meeting. Let's go back to our meeting to automatically assign this banked makeup to the meeting. So I'm going to go click meetings list in the left here, and then click April 18th to open the meeting again. Scrolling back to the middle here, we're going to click makeups. Okay, and let's go ahead and automatically assign that makeup. So I'm just scrolling down some more. Okay, and here we see makeups, that same Gil one we saved. I believe this button isn't available because it's only one member who missed the meeting. If we had more than one, we should be able to do that. I'm running out of time, but rest assured, this button would be available if there were multiple in this section. I should have prepared for that, but we can just click this add makeup button and it'll use the banked makeup we created for Annetta for this meeting right away for us. I'm going to go ahead, click add makeup. Okay, and at this point, I think it's having me create a new makeup. I believe so. So let's go ahead and edit the makeup to assign to a meeting. I'm going to go ahead and go back, and we can go back to our makeups list page. Yep, it's still banked. I can click the actions drop down, then click edit. And then we can choose the banked or apply to a meeting option. I'm going to choose apply to a meeting, and then we can click the apply to a meeting option and select the April 18th meeting. Looks like Annette didn't attend the March 7th. We can select it for the closed meeting, but it wouldn't update its statistics until we open it and close it again. So I'm just going to select April 18th and click update. Okay, and now we're back on the makeups list page and we can see it's updated. We do have an article that goes over that auto assign feature that I don't think I demoed well enough. So definitely check out our auto assign article. If you have multiple banked makeups and they fall within your makeup eligibility window, you should see that auto assign button for the makeup section, and then you can automatically assign multiple makeups for many different members to that meeting right away. Okay, you may have noted there is one other option on the add makeup page. Let's quickly talk about that before we jump into reports and then closing and reporting our meetings. So back on this add makeup page, we also have this auto assign option when creating the meeting or creating the makeup, pardon me. If it is set with auto assign, it will automatically be assigned to the earliest eligible meeting within the eligibility window and makeup date. So say this member Alta didn't attend our March 4th meeting. Let's see if they did apply to meeting. No, they did. But say they didn't, we could choose this auto assign makeup type option and then simply click this orange save button, and automatically, as soon as we click save, the system would look for the earliest meeting the member didn't attend and assign this makeup to that meeting. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up reports to download and share with our board. So back in attendance, we're going to click dashboard, but you can be anywhere within the module. On the dashboard, if we scroll down just a bit, you'll see this report section on the left. If you're looking to just create a spreadsheet, you can check off member names to then come back to Club Runner and mark the attendance. I would suggest printing this print member list / attendance sheet report. So I've gone ahead and clicked that, and I do see the system is loading that for us. There we are. And if I scroll down, it's just a quick way to include a check mark. You can print this off and check mark member names who've attended. You have some options to include various membership types at the top. If you want to print this page, all you have to do is click this blue print button on the right. Let's go ahead and click it so we can see what that looks like. I've clicked print, and automatically my browser's print function appears, where I can either save it as a PDF, or if I had a printer hooked up to my device, select the printer from the destination. You can finagle with how big or small this sheet looks from your browser's settings for print. So I've clicked more settings in my Google Chrome browser's print preview, and from here I can choose the paper size, pages, margins, scale. You can change the scale to be bigger or smaller. So I think this doesn't take up enough space. I want it to fill in a little more. I can increase the scale to say 110. I hope this doesn't change too much, but we quickly saw that the size of the print was increased for me. At some point, if we go too high, it'll bleed into a second page. So be mindful, you can finagle with this print preview, but there are ways to make it print into a second page if it's too big, or if the margins are not quite how you'd like them. So you can change this print preview to your needs. Let's have it be 110 because I think that was a good in between, and then we could save it as a PDF or print it out to our printer. Okay, I'm just going to close out of this and go back to the member area. Here we are. Next report is this print member list simple version. It's just a single list of member names and the checkbox on the right. Again, you can choose which membership types should appear. We see Miguelita are active corporate, but I can uncheck active corporate, then click refresh, and Miguelita is no longer on this printout list. Okay, next is the attendance report by year. So I've gone ahead and clicked that, and here you'll see the years for each member's meeting statistics. So we're in the 22-23 year. We see Rusty has 100% attendance because he attended 4 meetings, but Mason is at 66%. He attended 2 meetings and missed 2 meetings, but he was excused from one of the ones he missed. So effectively 2 out of 3. 66%. And then we can also see Cad Huckabee has 75%, where he missed 1 meeting and has 3 meetings that he attended, 475, and so on. If you want to print out this member attendance by year, you would simply click this print button and you would get a spreadsheet to print off. You can also navigate to the previous years of attendance. We don't have data for previous years in our demo account, or next year, we don't have meetings for our following year. I really want to show you guys the customized attendance report, and we're almost out of time. So I'm going to skip just a bit. I'm going to skip this monthly club report, which is just the month and overall percentage for the club. But then this customized attendance report really breaks it down for you, meeting to meeting, every member in a row. So here we are. I've loaded the customized attendance report. It's pulling meetings from as far back as February 18th to April 18th. I apologize. I was under the impression our closed meeting wouldn't appear in this report. It does. So I'll have to correct my documentation about that. But here we can see all of the meetings within the month range. And if the member had attended, it display a check mark, their percentage within the date range, any notes for leave of absences or excuses, And you may note some color coding. If we scroll down a bit, you'll see the legend at the very bottom, and blue indicates that the member is exempted or excused. Gray indicates that they were inactive, they were terminated from the club, so they wouldn't affect the score. Purple indicates they were on a leave of absence. So if we scroll up, we can see Chrissy was actually in a leave of absence for April 18th, even though they attended, and CAD was in an excused group for the last two meetings, April 4th and April 18th. But they did attend, and that excused status is set with the count if attended rules. So they are increasing the attendance score when attending those meetings. We can change the date range to include more meetings if your club has them entered. So I can click the start date range and then click the calendar icon to get this little calendar. And I can go back to say January 1st and then click this go button to refresh the report. I'm expecting one more column. There we are. Perfect. And there's our January 7th column with a few more meeting statistics for prior meetings. Okay, and it looks like Jamie may not have been with the club until April 18th, and that's why they're gray, not part of the club, until April 18th when they were added to the club, and now they have attendance score as an honorary member. Okay, you can print out this customized attendance report. Just click this blue print button in the top right. Let's do that. Okay, and I do see we're eating up into some Q&A time. I do apologize. I'm almost done, and we'll go ahead and move on to questions. But I've clicked print. Here's that printout for the customized attendance report. If I close this, you can also export the report in a spreadsheet format. So I'm going to go ahead and click export. And as soon as I do, I see the CSV comma separated value spreadsheet file is downloaded. I've clicked it, and my Excel program here opened on another browser tab, but there it is. Here's that same check marks for each member's name, the overall attendance score. I see these hashtags because there's not enough width for the columns, but if I do that, we can see they fill out with the data. And it looks like this column is long because this piece of text is pretty large, but that's how you can export the report. Let's go ahead and close out our meeting so that it appears on the district. To get there, I'm going to click attendance, then meetings in the gray bar just below, and click this close link. And as soon as I click close, this meeting's score for April will accumulate. So we'd have 100% and 100%, so it would appear as 100% on the district website. I'm simply going to click close and OK. And there we are. It reports 100% because we added two makeups for the remaining two members, and in the end, it's got 100%. Okay, last but not least, let's quickly show you how you would use the barcode module. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our Club Runner homepage in a new browser tab. So I've opened up a new tab. I'm going to go to clubrunner.ca and then press enter on my keyboard. And here on clubrunner.ca, we can go to pricing to view pricing for Club Runner. Scrolling down, we have this number of members box, which when updated, will update the prices for the three versions of Club Runner below. If we scroll down just a bit more, here we are with the barcode scanner module based on membership size. To order the module, you would simply click order barcode scanner module. I do want to mention we are not offering the barcode scanner devices themselves at this time, but there are third-party Android apps and other scanners. We used to offer the CS3000, but there are other scanners that can read the barcodes generated in Club Runner. So you may be able to find an app from your app store which can read the scans, or read the barcodes, I should be specific. And then once you have the barcode module, there's a extra button within the meeting to upload the text file that the barcode has retrieved from scanning the members' barcodes, and then using that text file that's in the scanner would automatically update the members, active members, and honorary members list with who was scanned for that text file / meeting. Okay, and just to quickly show you the order form, we'd simply click this blue order barcode scanner module, and you would enter in the contact who should receive the invoice. There should also be a billing contact here. Nope, it's that first one, and then the club mailing address and so on. To submit the order, you would fill out the last bit here and click this blue submit order form. Okay, and that's all the content I have for the training session, but we do have some questions that I see we've marked as live. So if you'd like to join me, Serena. Awesome, thank you.
Hi everybody. I wanted to thank you all for your excellent questions. I do hope the articles that I've been posting have been helpful. I have tried to get to everybody in a timely fashion. We did have a few questions specifically regarding makeup. So Richard did say and mention that makeup credits can't be applied on the same day of meeting, and that is correct. That is a current restriction on our system. Even if the meeting is closed, the makeup will not be applied on the same day. It has to be the day after the meeting has occurred. That is a current restriction. Regarding the auto assign, if the meeting is closed, yes, you can use the auto assign if the meeting is closed, as long as there's makeups available for the members. So that can be done. There's a couple questions regarding that. Is there an ability to add additional information to an attendance record, such as who attended online? You can, but it would be it wouldn't be in our report directly. You would probably make it make a note of it elsewhere. Omar, where would you note that again? I know it's not in the report directly. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's a great question. I do believe we suggest a workaround for logging online attendance. Another way would be to assign a makeup to the member to say that they attended online, and then apply that makeup to the member's record. So say, so we've closed this meeting, so I'm not able to adjust the active member's attendance, but to reopen it, I've already clicked into it, but back on attendance meetings, here I can click reopen on the right side of the page to make those changes. So I'll click it, reopen, and then OK on the browser prompt. There it is, April 18th. If I scroll down, you can also reopen using this status box on the right side of the page if you've clicked into the meeting. But let's say Rusty, who I'm logged in with, actually attended online. So I've unchecked his name, and then I'm going to click this orange save button. And to say Rusty attended online, I would create the makeup stating that Rusty joined us online. So I'd simply go to the top, click makeups in the left-hand menu or makeups in the gray bar below, and we can add multiple makeups. So say multiple members attended online, I'd simply click add multiple makeups and then say these members joined us online for April 18th meeting. Let's go ahead and set the makeup date to be 1 day prior to the meeting. So let's do actually April 14th, which is a few days. And then I can say Rusty gets this, Nil and Lemmy. Maybe this is a good chance for me to test the auto assign feature. So great question, Serena, from the user who attended us. So there we are. I've got my 3 banked up meetings, and there they are. These members joined online for April 18th. I'm just going to remember Rusty, Nil, and Lemmy meetings. Back in the April 18th meeting, I'm going to go ahead and uncheck Nil, and there's Lemmy. So there we are. We effectively said these members didn't attend, but we're about to apply those makeups. So there we are. I've got the 3 members unchecked. Let's say they joined online. I'm going to go to the makeups tab again, and I'm really hoping the button's there. But if I scroll down just a bit more, I'm not sure why. Sorry, and that was one of the earlier questions. I apologize. Let's go ahead.
Done same day.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see if I can edit the meeting date to get those to appear. And thank you for the helpful question. So now we should be able to automatically assign those makeups. So I've set it to April 17th. If I scroll back down, makeups, I apologize for my inexperience here, but we've got that auto assign makeups button available, and this auto assign makeup will just do it for the member we click it. But I want everybody to use their banked makeup. So I'm going to go ahead and click auto assign. It refreshes for me. And if I go back to the bottom, it'll be in this makeup section. These members joined online for the April 18th meeting. I should now say April 17th. And I do apologize for my error here. A great question.
Perfect. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to clarify that this is a workaround to get the note to appear on the attendance record. So we're using a makeup, but it's not formally a makeup in this case. Perfect. Thank you so much, Omar, for your help with that one. Steve was asking, are board meetings classified as makeups? I did get a few questions regarding board meetings. The reporting requirements for board meetings are club and district specific. That's not imposed by Club Runner. So you need to contact your executive team if you have questions regarding the specific attendance recording policies for your club or your district. We offer it as a feature, but people can use it or not. We're not going to tell you what to do with your club.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Sorry, just to add to that, it's
Sure.
really sometimes your district has regulations for how you should sort of track those board meetings and if they should be makeups, but on some level it's usually up to the clubs too. So exactly what Serena is saying, sometimes it's up to the clubs, sometimes you can reach out to your club executives for those rules. Sometimes your club is still sort of ironing out how you create makeups and if those should count. So definitely connect with your executives, just like Serena said.
Perfect. I'm really happy that we had so many great questions. I just wanted to run it by everybody and see where everybody stands. There was a few people I have to send emails of, but feel free to post your questions in the FAQ or the chat box. We're happy to take those now. If not, then you can, of course, give us a call or an email anytime, and we're more than happy to help.
Yeah, and just to speak about the Club Runner knowledge base. So I'm going to close this tab because I've already pulled it open, but you can reach out to us using our knowledge base website, clubrunnersupport.com. So I've just typed that into my website browser here. I'm going to click enter. On our homepage for the knowledge base, you can reach out to us by clicking this contact us button. There's also a quicker way to get to the knowledge base from your club's member area. So if I go back to our meeting that we were working in, you can also pull up the Club Runner knowledge base by clicking help in the top blue bar and then support center to open up the knowledge base. Or if you just want to reach out to us, submit a ticket. And I'm going to go ahead and click submit a ticket. And it pulls up the same contact us page that you would click on clubrunnersupport.com by clicking this blue button. From here, you can enter your name and email address. You have to, and then you'd enter a subject, priority, your message. So I have more questions about auto assign or how do I exempt a certain member from attendance? Definitely include that in the message. It'd be helpful if you include your account name, and that makes it easier for us on the support team to find your account in case there's any details we need to review. There is this CAPTCHA test, and you would simply click this blue submit button. Our team does work to reply within 1 to 2 business days, provided we're not overwhelmed with support requests, but you should expect to reply within 1 to 2 business days. And if you have follow-up questions, you can definitely reply to that email and work with the agent you're connecting with. I know we've probably got a few questions about where can I view recordings for the changeover training, and this is a good segue for the knowledge base. On clubrunnersupport.com, just on the homepage, you can click this videos and webinars section in the bottom right. You may need to scroll down for your browser. I'm going to go ahead and click it. Here we are on the videos and webinars group. If I scroll down just a bit, you'll see the changeover training section, the very same changeover training we are doing today, but these are for the 2022 recordings. Our team will update this section with the 2023 recordings once we're done our changeover training series and once we've processed the recordings. We also have our regularly scheduled webinar recordings and shorter length video tutorials. So definitely check out clubrunnersupport.com. If you need help, just click this contact us button. If you're looking for more webinars, videos, and webinars below, you're most welcome. Any more questions? We've got about 2 more minutes before we wrap up.
Okay, so we did have a few questions about the rule of 85. So I know we have the rule of 85 report. So once a member does meet the requirements for the rule of 85, that will be automatically applied by the Club Runner system in order to apply those attendance exemptions for those particular members, right, Omar?
That is not correct. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Serena.
sorry.
That's okay. No, don't apologize. It's okay. Again,
Yes, sorry.
I'll
I
elaborate.
apologize. Yeah.
No, that's okay. I'll elaborate. So members who qualify for the rule of 85 will automatically appear in the reports rule of 85 report. And this calculates based on their club join date and how long they've been with Rotary, plus I believe their age. Once you have the rule of 85 report, which is also linked here, you can then add these members in the rule of 85 report to the excused membership category.
My apologies, everybody. It looks like Omar is the expert in this area. I haven't had too many cases with the rule of 85, so again, I apologize for that. I misunderstood.
That's okay. Sometimes clubs will retitle one of the rules for makeup. So in the settings tab, I'm going to go back here. And if we scroll down, sometimes clubs will change one of these exempted or excused statuses to be rule of 85, and then add the members who appear on that rule of 85 report to the group. And you can do that simply by clicking the edit link for exempted. And we could say these are our rule of 85 exempt. And then I'd click this orange save button. And now I would review to see if anybody is in that rule of 85 report. I don't think so, but we can click it and this would calculate if somebody was. So nobody has that age and club join date sort of filter to pull into this report, but we can manually add those or adjust the club join date so they appear in this report, or their birth date as well, because it does use birthday to calculate age. Great question. Thank you, Richard. Age plus years with Rotary 85 should be 85 or more, and then they'll appear in this report. And then when they do, you can add them to your exempted members group. So they're exempted from attendance. But I would suggest if you want to use exempted, change the rule from never count to count if attended, just to, I don't want to say artificially, but increase your attendance scores. If they're attending, great, you're getting that score. If they don't, it's still the same as never counts.
Perfect.
Awesome. I think we're all wrapped up. That's all the time we have for today.
Perfect. So everybody, I really, really appreciate all your great questions. We've had many questions here, and I hope I got to everybody in a timely fashion. There's a couple of people I'm going to send out emails afterwards. If you do have any questions that come up afterwards, please feel free to give us a call or email us at support@clubrunner.ca. We're more than happy to help you. We understand that it's a lot of content to go through in a short period of time, and we appreciate your patience as we tried to cover everything for you.
Thank you, Serena. And a big thank you for everybody for joining us today. As Serena said, you can definitely reach out to us. Our email address is right here on the page, support@clubrunner.ca, but you can also pull up clubrunnersupport.com and click that contact us in the top right. A note, you can also log into clubrunnercommunity.com with the same credentials you would for your club website. Many different customers log into clubrunnercommunity.com to give us feedback, share ideas with other customers. I know I've helped some people save their websites as a question on the community. So definitely log into clubrunnercommunity.com for more ideas and share your feedback with us. We love to hear your feedback, and it is we're very receptive. We're always changing Club Runner. I didn't touch on this during our attendance webinar, and I think Club Runner Mobile was yesterday's, but your members and you can download the Club Runner mobile app. Simply go to clubrunner.com/mobile. It'll also be linked in the admin folder from your club's member area. You can download the mobile app and log in to see other members. If your district's online with Club Runner, you'll see other clubs and their membership, and you'll be able to add their contact information to your mobile device. And definitely, if you're interested in more Club Runner training, clubrunner.com/training. It's right here on the bottom right of my slide. You can register for more training. I think we have just a little less than a week's worth more of webinars, and that includes the website designer training, which I know a lot of clubs are interested in. So definitely join us for future trainings. And again, a big thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone.